Hello friends and welcome to Time Classes. Today's topic is Permutations and Combinations Part 2, and the handout that we will be using is QAHO 3532024. In the previous class, we have discussed the fundamental rule of counting, that is the number of ways to go from AB and then from along BC. There are 4 ways for AB and 3 ways for BC, and so together there are 4 into 3, 12 ways. We have discussed dependent and independent events, that are the AND rule and the OR rule. After that, we have discussed an example with both of these rules, the AND rule and the OR rule, which was the colors being put into boxes one at a time without repetition. And finally, we spoke about combinations or selections and the formulae related to the same. I hope that you all have revised everything from that class. We will be discussing some more questions today and finishing off this chapter. I suggest that you have a rough notebook by your side so that you can do some quick calculations when I give you a question, and also have a fair notebook to make notes based on whatever is discussed in the slides. So with that, let's begin. Okay. This is question 11 from your handout. A committee of 4 members is to be formed from 6 men and 4 women. In how many ways can it be done so that there's at least one man present in the committee? Please take 30 seconds to solve this question. Okay, so you want to make a committee with at least one man. What is the meaning of at least one man present in the committee? It means that there can be one man in the committee, or 2 men in the committee, or 3 men in the committee, or 4 men in the committee, and all of these are acceptable. What is the most important word that I used? Or. One man, or 2 men, or 3 men, or 4 men in the committee. So can I say that having at least one man in the committee is the same as saying total number of ways in which the committee can be formed minus the number of ways in which there are 0 men in the committee. Total number of ways minus the committees with 0 men will give you the committees with at least one man. Okay, so let's see. What would be the total number of ways to form a committee? I want to select 4 people out of 10, so it would be 10C4. And then I want a committee consisting of all 4 women, that is no men. So that would be 4 women, and I want to make a committee of 4 members, so I select all the women, so that becomes 4C4. Yes. So it's done. Total number of ways minus the number of ways in which there are 0 men, that is all women. So your answer would be 210 minus 1, that is 209. Please write this down. And I'll repeat it one more time. Basically, I am saying that your committees would have either 0 men, or 1 man, or 2 men, or 3 men, or 4 men. So from the total number of committees, if I can subtract the number of committees with 0 men, that is all women, then I would get the number of committees with either 1 man or 2 men or 3 men or 4 men. So that is what I have done. It's a shorter way of doing this question. Total minus committees with all women, and that gives us the answer. So let's move to the next question. Okay. In a party, there are 15 married couples. Each person at the party shakes hands with every person. Find the total number of handshakes. Please take 15 seconds. Okay, very straightforward question. 15 married couples, that is 30 people are there, assuming 2 people per couple. 15 into 2 is 30. Now, among these 30 people, you have to select any 2, and those 2 people will shake hands. So 30C2. 30C2, when you select those 2 people, they will shake hands and it's done. And you calculate 30C2 as 30 into 29 divided by 2. This is not a fancy calculation. This is simply 30 factorial divided by 2 factorial into 28 factorial. It simplifies to become 30 into 29 divided by 2. That is 435. Okay, so the answer is option number 4, 435. Out of 30 people, select 2. Any 2 selected people, they shake hands. So let's move to the next question. Okay, we come to arrangements now. See, we discussed in one of the earlier questions that we were arranging things, like the number of ways to go from A to B. There were 4 ways. The number of ways to go from B to C, there were 3 ways. And the colors in the boxes, the first box could be filled in 10 ways, the second box in 9 ways, and so on. So here I would like to discuss that the number of ways of arranging n different items is basically n factorial ways. The focus is n different items. So let's take an example. If I have 3 items, then in how many ways can they be arranged? 3 factorial is 6. But what do I mean? So what are those 6 ways? They would be ABC, ACB, BAC, BCA, CAB, and CBA. So these become the number of ways to arrange 3 selected items A, B, C. Okay. And now let's take some n different items of which P are identical, Q are identical, R are identical. And for that case, the number of ways would be n factorial divided by P factorial, Q factorial, R factorial. Please write all this down. Basically, this is to say that the total number of ways will not be n factorial and it will be divided. So we'll look at an example as well. So let's take 4 items P, P, Q, Q, of which the 2 P's are identical and the 2 Q's are identical. So the number of ways would be using the formula 4 factorial divided by P is 2 items are identical and Q is 2 items are identical. So 4 factorial divided by 2 factorial, 2 factorial. Now we know that 4 factorial is 24 divided by 2, 12 divided by 2, 6. But what are these 6 ways? Simply make all possible arrangements. PPQQ, QQPP, PQPQ, QPQP, PQQP, and QPPQ. So you see that the number of ways is actually not 24, that is 4 factorial, but it is reduced. And you can see, is there any other possibility of arranging them that is different from the ones listed over here? There is not. These are the number of ways of arranging these items. Okay, so please write all of this down. So now we have done something very, very interesting, because we have discussed two kinds of questions. First kind was where we were taking all the items or selecting the items and arranging them also. And the second type of question was where we were only selecting. Okay, but in the questions that in which we were selecting and arranging, till now we were not using this particular formula. So this is basically the second way of approaching such questions. And I'm going to give you an example. So let's look at that example. We remember this question, and I'm going to take the first two parts. Now, here, what happened that we had all the colors and we were arranging 4 of the colors. So the first box could be filled in 10 ways, second box in 9 ways, third box in 8 ways, and fourth box in 7 ways. Can I say that out of these 10 colors, I need to select 4 colors, and then I need to arrange those 4 colors in these boxes? Are you getting what I'm saying? Select 4 colors and arrange them in the boxes. So first let's select the 4 colors as 10C4, and then to arrange those 4 colors you multiply by 4 factorial, because we learned about arrangements in the previous slide. 10C4 into 4 factorial, and when we simplify this we again get 10 into 9 into 8 into 7, that is 5040. What has just happened? We have basically understood 2 ways of solving a question in which selection and arrangement both are happening. One way is to say that, okay, first box can be filled in 10 ways, second box in 9 ways, third box in 8 ways, fourth box in 7 ways. And the second interpretation or way to solve is select your 4 colors and then arrange them. Please write this down. I hope that you all are not getting confused. These are 2 different methods to solve the same question. It's just that sometimes one method is faster and more favorable, and sometimes it is the other one. It's only that much of an issue. Okay, mostly both methods can be used together for the same question, but the degree of complication will vary. So let's look at the B part. Now red and green should not be used. Then find the number of ways to fill the boxes. What will you do? Red and green should not be used. So how many colors are available? 8. How many colors do you need? 4. 8C4. Now you have got your 4 colors. Now you have to put them into the boxes. You have 4 colors. You have to put them into the boxes. Okay. So the first box can be filled in 4 ways, second box in 3 ways, third box in 2 ways, and last box will get the last remaining color. Is this fine? So you arranged the colors into the boxes in 4 factorial ways. So select 4 colors, 8C4 into 4 factorial. That gives you 1680. So we got the same answers as before as well. So I'm just going to quickly repeat. We looked at the fundamental rule of counting, and we saw that selection and arrangement together can be solved in a particular way when we discuss this question. Now we are solving this question in a different way by doing selection first and arrangements next. And this is only applicable when obviously arrangements needs to be done, because we have seen questions where only you had to select. So then these two methods are useless over there. It's incorrect. That's not what the question is asking for. If you have any doubt, please write it clearly. Take it out of your mind, put it in the chat queries, so it will be resolved later. And let's move to the next question. Things will become clearer as we look at more questions. Okay. How many different words, not necessarily meaningful, can be formed using all the letters of the word mathematics? So basically, all of these letters have already been selected. They are already available, and you need to arrange them, where some of them are identical as well. Please use the formula. Okay, what do we have? We have basically two M's, two A's, two T's, and the rest of the 5 letters are different. 11 letters are there. So the number of ways would be 11 factorial divided by 2 factorial, 2 factorial, 2 factorial. It's just the usage of the formula that we discussed for arrangements containing identical items. Okay, let's move to the next question. Question number 14 from your handout. Please take 30 seconds. Okay, now what do we want? See, we have all the letters already. Now we want to arrange them so that the ends come together. So I have two ends. So let me make one group out of them. I have a total of 12 letters, and now I'm going to make one unit of the two ends so that now they are treated as one unit only. So total I will now have 11 units, basically keep the two ends aside. So I have 10 letters, and then I have this one group. So total I now have 11 entities that I need to arrange. So it will become, and in these 11 I have two I's, two A's, two T's, and two L's. So in how many ways can I arrange? 11 factorial divided by this 2 factorial is for the two I's, this is for the two A's, this is for the two T's, and this is for the two L's. Okay, and the two N's, they are together in one unit. So there is only one way to keep them. Whether you keep them, well, there's no way to identify whether the order would be different or not. It does not change anything. Did this make sense to you all? I have treated it as one unit now, and then I have 10 other items or entities, and now I arrange all of them. using the n factorial formula. Okay. So let's proceed to the next question. Okay. Question 15 from your handout. Take 30 seconds. Okay. So this is similar to the previous question with a slight difference. See, let's say there are these 5 boys, A, B, C, D, E. Now you want 2 of them, whichever 2 there are, they need to sit together. So let's create one unit or one group out of these 2 boys. Okay. So let's say that the 5 boys are A, B, C, D, E and the 3 girls are P, Q, R. Now let the 2 particular boys who need to sit together be A and B. Okay, they have to sit together. Case closed. Now you are left with 3 boys and 3 girls, total 6 units or entities, and then this group of A and B. So now you have a total of 7 entities. These 7 can be arranged in 7 factorial ways. Yes, so you get 7 factorial possible arrangements where the group consists of A, comma B. But in each of these 7 factorial arrangements, inside the group, you could have had the people sitting, A, B sitting. They could have been sitting as A, B, or they could have been sitting with their seats interchanged, that is B, A. So these 2 people could have been sitting in 2 factorial ways. They could have been AB or they could have been sitting as BA. Yes. So we need to arrange the group AB and the remaining 6 people. So these can be arranged in 7 factorial ways and the AB can be arranged in 2 factorial ways. I think now you will be able to understand that why in the previous question we did not divide by 2 factorial for the NN. Okay, so this is why, because in that case they were identical, whereas over here these are not identical. So in total we have to multiply by 2 factorial. Okay, let's move to the next question. So now basically all of these questions that we are doing, the previous 3-4 questions, we are simply arranging them. We are understanding arrangements. Please solve question 17 so that all the vowels are together and you know the strategy, the secret now, and it is that when you want to keep things together, then you make a group out of them. Okay, so we have 5 vowels out of 10 letters available in education. I'm sorry, out of a total of 9 letters available in education. So in total we have 5 items, 4 consonants and 5 vowels forming one group. So one group and 4 consonants. So these can be arranged in 5 factorial ways? Yes, these 5 items can be arranged in 5 factorial ways, and within this group, within these brackets, these 5 vowels can be further arranged in 5 factorial ways. So you get all possible arrangements of all these vowels while keeping them together. And so the total number of ways becomes 5 factorial into 5 factorial. And this concept is coming from the previous 2 questions, where when you want to keep something together, you make a group out of it and you treat it as one unit, and then you arrange them further. Okay. Okay, let's move to the next question. Question 16 from your handout. Please take 30 seconds. Careful, in this question, it says that they should never sit together. Okay. Can I say that the easy way to solve this is the number of ways in which they never sit together will be the total number of ways minus the number of ways in which they always sit together. Or let me rephrase. Total number of ways will be the ways in which this particular boy and girl always sit together plus never sit together. See, either they will be sitting together or they won't be sitting together. There's no other possibility. So never sit together becomes equal to total number of ways minus ways in which they are always sitting together. And we have just solved so many questions where about always being together or being in one group. Okay, so that's how we will solve. So the first thing is that total number of ways is 8 factorial. Okay, so as one particular boy and girl sit together, I treat them as one unit. So when I treat them as one unit, now I have the remaining 3 boys and 3 girls, that is 6 units. So total 6 plus 1 unit, I get 7 units. And these 7 units can be arranged in 7 factorial ways. But the boy and girl could have interchanged their seats also. So you get 7 factorial into 2 factorial. Exactly same as previous question. So the number of ways in which the boy and girl sit together is 7 factorial into 2 factorial. But I want them to never sit together. So it will be 8 factorial minus 7 factorial 2 factorial. Okay, so it's a very basic simplification. You can write this as 7 factorial into 8 minus 7 factorial into 2. That you take 7 factorial common and you get 8 minus 2 equal to 6. So the answer is 6 into 7 factorial. That is option number 4. I'll repeat this one more time. The questions that we have solved, the previous few questions, in those questions, we were keeping entities together. Now the question says that they should never be together. So never be together will be what? Total minus always together. So total is 8 factorial and always together becomes 7 factorial into 2 factorial. The reason for the multiplication by 2 factorial is because the boy and girl are different. See, we've seen that n factorial is arrangements for different items. But when we solved the question in which I was arranging the alphabets and you had the two n's, those two n's were identical. So that's why over there we did not do into 2 factorial, because they are identical. There's only one way to arrange them. I hope you all are enjoying this topic. It's a very, very interesting topic, and it makes your logic very strong and clear. Okay. So let's please write neatly and clearly what is happening, what is 8 factorial, what is 7 factorial into 2 factorial. Otherwise, you will not remember it later. So I'll give you another 15 seconds to make some good notes. So now the basics are complete and you can take each question as a challenge. What is this question? What does it want? Does it want only selection or does it want selection and arrangement? For selection and arrangement together, we have seen two ways. First is doing them separately, selection, arrangement, or the second is doing them together, like how we did for the colors in boxes question. Which seems easier? Which strikes first? Okay. Okay. Question number 4. In how many ways can 7 books be distributed among 4 students if each student is eligible to receive any number of books? Please take 15 seconds. Okay. I pick up the first book. First book can be arranged in how many ways? There are 4 students sitting. Each student can receive any number of books. The first book can be given in how many ways? 4 ways. The first book can be given to the first student or second or third or fourth, 4 ways. Second book can be given in 4 ways. Third book can be given in 4 ways. Fourth book can be given in 4 ways. So basically the total number of ways becomes 4 into 4 into 4 into 4 into 4 into 4 into 4, and that is 4 raised to the power 7 ways. That is the number of total ways. So you see, no selections, no separate selections and arrangements within a single step. When you say that, okay, this book can be given in these many ways, question is over. Of course, you can do the selection and arrangement way also, but it will take approximately 5 minutes. So this is what you have to learn to identify which method of selection and arrangement together works where. Okay, this will come with practice. So let's look at a similar question. There are 5 questions. Each question has 2 choices. Let's say each question has an internal choice of 2 questions. Or basically you can understand it as 2 answer choices. Let's say 5 questions of true false type. And the student has to answer all 5 questions. Then in how many ways can he answer? Please take 15 seconds. Similar to previous question. Okay. First question can be answered in how many ways? 2 ways, either true or false. Second question can be answered in how many ways? Either true or false. So total ways would be 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 2. First question in 2 ways, second question in 2 ways. So total ways would be 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 2. 2 raised to the power 5 is 32. 32 is your answer. Exactly same as previous question. This was question number 6 from your handout. I hope this is fine. Okay, and you are getting some good practice and good quality questions. Make sure you are attempting every question. Okay. Okay, tricky question. How many 5-digit numbers can be formed using the digits 0, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, and 9 if repetition of digits is not allowed? This basically means that in a particular 5-digit number, one digit can occur only once. You cannot have a 5-digit number with two threes. Okay, please solve. Okay, let's solve. I want to send a message first. Always attack restriction first. Where is your restriction in a 5-digit number? Where is the restriction? The restriction is on the first digit or the most significant digit because you cannot use 0 over there. Okay. So in the first digit, you can be filled in how many ways? First digit can be filled in how many ways? 6 ways. It could be 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 8 or 9. So you fill the first digit in 6 ways. Now one digit has been used up over there. You are left with 5 digits and the 0. 5 digits and the 0. So now you have a total of 6 digits left. Now the second place can be filled in 6 ways because there is no restriction. So first place was filled in 6 ways because 0 cannot be used. 0 is over here. Now one digit has been used, 5 digits left and a 0. Now the second place can be filled in 6 ways, any of these 6 digits. Now one more digit is used. Third third place of the number can be filled in 5 ways, fourth digit in 4 ways, fifth digit in 3 ways. So 6 into 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 will be your answer. What is the lesson, the hint over there? Here, attack restriction first. Okay, so you get first place can be filled in 6 ways, remaining places can be filled in 6, 5, 4 and 3 ways. So you get a total of 2160 possible 5-digit numbers. Is this fine? Let's look at a similar question with slightly more complication. Question number 5. How many 4-digit odd numbers can be formed using the digits 0, 4, 1, 7, 6 and 8 if each digit occurs at most once in each number? Please take 30 seconds. Attack restriction first. Okay, you have two restrictions here. The first is that in the first place 0 cannot be used, and the second is that the last digit has to be odd, that is it has to be 1 or 7. Okay, so which is the more important restriction? Actually, the more important restriction is ensuring that the number is odd. So the last place can be filled in how many ways? You have a 4-digit number. It has to be odd. Last place can be filled in how many ways? Yes, can be filled in 2 ways because it has to be either a 1 or a 7. Okay, so 2 is fixed. Last place can be filled in 2 ways. Now you are left with 3 more places. And how many digits are left? Total 6 digits were there, but 1 digit has been used up. So now 5 digits are available. Now, what is the restriction remaining? The restriction remaining is on the first unit. You have 5 digits remaining. First unit can be filled in 4 ways because 0 cannot be used. So the first unit can be filled in 4 ways. One number is used. Now you are left with 3 numbers and a 0. So total 4 digits, 4 numbers. So first place is filled in 4 ways, last place is filled in 2 ways, and you still have 4 numbers remaining. Second place can now be filled in 4 ways, and third place can be filled in 3 ways. Okay, let's see. So units digit will be either a 1 or a 7, that is in 2 ways. Now the first place can be filled in, see, when 1 or 7 is used up, now total you have 5 numbers remaining, including 0. But first place cannot be a 0, so first place can be filled in 4 ways. Okay. So after it is filled up, now you have 4 numbers remaining. So second place can be filled in 4 ways and third place can be filled in 3 ways. So total number of odd numbers becomes 4 into 4 into 3 into 2. Okay. The way to, if you had solved it in such a way that you said that the first place can be filled in 5 ways, then that would make the question complicated and you would have to make cases. Then you would have to see out of those 5 ways for the first digit, was 1 or 7 used or not? Because if 1 or 7 was not used, then the last place can be filled in 2 ways. But if 1 or 7 was used up, then the last place can be filled in only 1 way. So you would have to make cases and things would get complicated. So in this, again, you attack restriction first, but the more important restriction was for the last digit. So last digit was filled in 2 ways, and then the first digit in 4 ways, second place in 4 ways, third place in 3 ways. So you got this answer. Please check whether this question is clear to you. If it is not clear, write down in your copy what is the doubt. Write down, then you can send it later through the chat. But don't keep it over here. Put it down. Make good notes. Write clearly, write properly what is happening. Okay, let's proceed. We come to circular arrangements now, and through 2 questions, I'm going to tell you the concept of how it works. So basically what you need to do is that in circular arrangement, we need to fix one person. So if I have 5 boys and 5 girls around a circular table, so I fix one of them, okay, this one person is fixed. And about that one person, I arrange the remaining people. So you have 9 people left, so arrange them in 9 factorial ways. So the answer is 9 factorial. And this is the formula for circular arrangements. Basically, if you have n people, they can be arranged in n minus 1 factorial ways. Please write this down. It's just something to know that ऐसा होता है in a circular arrangement n ways, so they can be arranged in n minus 1 factorial ways. Okay. Next, I take another case. the number of ways of stringing 12 distinct beads into a necklace. So again, circular arrangements, fixed one, 11 left. So you would say that the answer is 11 factorial, but actually the answer is 11 factorial divided by 2. And I'll tell you why. See, I don't have a necklace, unfortunately, but the thing is that if you can pick up your circular arrangement, let's say that this is a necklace, then I can flip it. Yes, I can basically flip this particular necklace around, and that would cause a duplication because it's the same necklace. How to show you? Okay, I'll show you like this. Okay, let's look over here. Imagine this necklace with 5 people. So you have A, B, C, D, E. Okay, no need, this will become complicated. Basically what happens is that if you can pick up your whatever circular arrangement is given to you, and if you can turn it around, in that case the formula will be n minus 1 factorial divided by 2. But when you have a circular table, you cannot pick up that circular table and flip it. Okay? Then in that case, your formula will be n minus 1 factorial. Just this much you need to know. That for a circular arrangement, if you can pick up your arrangement and flip it, like in the case of a necklace, yes, you can easily practically pick it up and turn it around. Then the number of ways is n minus 1 factorial divided by 2. And if you cannot pick it up and turn it around, like a circular table, you can't pick up the table and then be flipping it, then your number of ways is n minus 1 factorial. Okay, that much only you need to know. It's a small topic, not so important. Please write all of this down. There you go. Okay. Table, n minus 1 factorial ways. Necklace, n minus 1 factorial by 2 ways. Okay, let's do an example for circular arrangements. In how many ways can 11 students be seated around a circular table so that 3 students sit together? Try this out. This is additional 3 from your handout. Okay. Again, make a group out of those 3 students. So you have 8 students and 3 students forming one group. So 8 entities and 1 entity, total 9 entities to be arranged in a circular arrangement. So the 9 entities, you get a total of 9 entities, can be arranged. It is around a circular table, so it can be arranged in 8 factorial ways. 8 factorial ways, and the 3 people in that one unit can be arranged among themselves in another 3 factorial ways. So 9 students in 8 factorial ways and the 3 students in 3 factorial ways. So your answer becomes 8 factorial into 3 factorial. Simply using the concept of making one group together that we learned previously and circular arrangements. So you get 9 units in 8 factorial ways and the 3 students in that group in 3 factorial ways. Okay, let's proceed. Okay, see, you have already seen this kind of question before. So A person wants to invite 5 of his friends to a party. In how many ways can he do this? Let's take the first friend. What can he do with this first friend? Either he will invite or he will not invite. So he can treat this person in 2 ways. Either he will invite or he will not invite. Okay. Second friend also, either he will invite or he will not invite. Third also, fourth also, fifth also. So each friend can be treated in 2 ways. So the total number of ways to invite his friends becomes 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 2, that is 32 ways. Okay. Now, let me look at it in a different way. You have 5 different friends. So he could have invited none of his friends. So he will invite them in 5C0 ways. If he wants to invite none of them, then you select 0 out of 5. So 5C0. If he wants to invite only one of his friends, then he can do this in 5C1 ways. If he wants to invite 2 of his friends, then he will do this in 5C2 ways. He will select those 2 friends that he wants to invite. So he's selecting them 5C2. And all of these are dependent cases. Either he will invite no friend, or one friend, or 2 friends, or 3 friends, or 4 friends, or 5 friends. What is the word? Or. So what do we get? Number of friends invited may be 0 or 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. And so you get 5C0 plus 5C1 plus 5C2 plus 5C3 plus 5C4 plus 5C5. Put in all the values and you get 32 ways. So this is basically solving this question in 2 ways. Please write this down. Okay. Now I want you to solve this question. A person wants to invite at least one of his 5 friends to a party. In how many ways can he invite his friends? Take 30 seconds. Okay. See, what do we want? What is the total number of ways to invite? We found it. It's 32. But he wants to invite at least one of his friends. That means either one friend or 2 friends or 3 friends or 4 friends or 5 friends. So what is the value for all of these? It would be total 32 minus 5C0. All of these is at least one friend. So it will be total 32 minus 5C0. That is total ways minus inviting no friend. That is 32 minus 5C0 is 31 ways. So I wanted to do both of these questions together. Uh, Question 21, I wanted to give a little bit of background. What is happening? So that you could understand question 21 properly. Okay, please write this down. And let's move to the next question. 14 people are to travel by a van and a car. The van can carry 8 people, car can carry 6. In how many ways can the group be distributed between the van and the car if 3 people refuse to travel by van and 2 people refuse to travel by car? Take 30 seconds. 3 people refuse to travel by van. That means 3 people pakka will go in the car. And 2 people refuse to travel by car. That means pakka they will go in the van. So we have 2 people already fixed for the van and 3 people fixed for the car. Okay. Three people fixed for the car and 2 people fixed for the van. 3 people refuse to travel by van, so they will go in the car. So 3 people fixed for car and 2 people fixed for van. So now from the remaining 9 people, 3 plus 2, 5, 14 minus 5, 9 more people are left. Out of these 9 people, 3 are supposed to sit in the car because the car can place 6 people, of which 3 are fixed. So 3 more need to be placed in the car. I think a diagram in this figure would have been good. So out of these 9 people, 3 have to go in the car and 6 have to go in the van. Okay, and this can be done in how many ways? From these 9 people, let's select 3 people who need to sit in the car. So that becomes 9C3. And remaining 6 people need to go in the van. So 6C6. So please write this carefully in your copy. 9C3 into 6C6 is equal to 84. 9C3 into 6C6 is equal to 84. Okay, let's move to the next question. There are 25 points in a plane of which 10 are collinear. How many triangles can be formed? This is additional 4 from your handout. See, if you want to make a triangle, it can be made in how many ways? Select 3 points. So 25C3. These are the groups of 3 points. And you connect those 3 points and you will get triangles. Okay. But you have 10 points which are collinear. Okay. Now, if you have a bunch of collinear points, what are collinear points? Collinear points lie in one line. So from these 10 points, from these 25 points, you selected 3 points. Now I am saying that if these 3 points which were selected were from the 10 collinear points, then that would not form a triangle, but it would be counted as a triangle. So from 25C3, actually I need to subtract 10C3, or all those groups of 3 points selected from these 10 collinear points, since these points do not form triangles. And so your answer would be 25C3 minus 10C3. Okay. So with this, we finish this chapter, and you would have noticed that there is a lot of variety possible in this topic. So you need to do a lot of practice. And in the last bunch of questions, again, we saw that there was no distribution required, no arrangement required, but only selection. So your most important thing in solving a question in PNC is to understand whether you need to select only or select and arrange. And in selecting and arranging, there are 2 ways that we have discussed. First is do the selection and then the arrangement, or second way is use the fundamental rule of counting and do them. Okay. I hope that this topic was clear and you enjoyed this topic. Thank you for your time and attention.